I mean, that's why you're like, oh, I don't know how Trump will go. Like, I do. I mean, we've already seen.
No, but we don't. That's not fair because he's not back in office. Like he says, I'm going to have different people who are in power. We'll see how that works out. I don't know.
But think about this. Think about this. Okay, what are the issues that he's flipped on? Okay, salt.
By the way,
crypto.
Don't erase what happened to the Wall Street Journal yesterday, which is that expats will no longer be double taxed.
It's coming through for the Americans living abroad.
Will someone think of rich Americans in Singapore?
That's right.
Can somebody please think of these people?
That's really going to seal the deal for him in terms of his electoral
prospects. There's 4 million of them and they can vote, so why not?
You've got his salt flip-flop. You've got him shifting on crypto. You've got him, going to the oil and gas industry like, I will do whatever you want. That's not real flip-flop. You've got him promising rich people, billionaires that, hey, back me because I'm going to do the TCJA that we know for sure he's going to do. And we see who has been honestly most empowered in his campaign, and that's Elon Musk, who is one of the biggest union busters in the country.
And I think that's such an important point because more so than any specific policy flip-flop, I think it really points to the ways in which Trump has lost his populist appeal. I think one of the most brilliant aspects of Trump's 2016 campaign that's not spoken enough about these days is how he went out there and promised that he wasn't going to be a buyable candidate, that I'm above the donor class because I am the donor class. I can't be controlled by these people because I am one of them myself. That was actually a really strong and appealing message to a lot of Americans that were sick of the corruption in our society and actually bought that line that, yeah, this guy is corruption proof. He's so big that he can't be bought. And of course, that sounds ridiculous. Obviously, Trump was the most corruptible man of all time, potentially. But again, at the time, it was an appealing message. Now, Trump's taking the exact opposite approach where it's like there's not a single billionaire, there's not a single donor that he won't take a meeting with, that he won't promise the world to for the max donation amount. It really does seem like he's just openly, and he's not even trying to hide it. He's just like prostituting himself out to the highest bidder. And admittedly, your average American might not care about that, but I think to some of his base, this is something that matters. Like I remember we reacted to that Nick Fuentes clip, right? The Groyper people, they were pissed about him taking the Miriam Adelson money. Now, obviously, they're anti-Semitics. It's probably more because they think that the Jews control Trump.
The weather machine.
Exactly. But still, I mean, you can't deny that was a part of his original populist appeal. And those folks aren't dumb. They still care about corruption. They don't want to feel like their president is bought off by freaking foreign governments and various industries. So I do think Krystal's 100% right to identify that. And yeah, Elon Musk will 100% be the president if Trump gets reelected. Trump doesn't give a shit. He's going to be golfing. He's going to be, eating cheeseburgers and watching Fox News. Elon Musk is actually going to be president if Donald Trump wins the White House. And as I said the other day, if this country is Twitter, I don't want to live in X. You know what I'm saying? He's going to do to this country what he did to Twitter.
100%. And that's why I've been very frustrated over the last 6 months with the behavior of Sean O'Brien, right? And I think you've seen a real dichotomy between the way that the Teamsters and Sean O'Brien have been led and the way that Sean Fain and the United Auto Workers have been led. For Sean O'Brien to speak at the Republican National Convention, to go around the country and basically act as if it's a wash at best between the Republicans and Democrats when it comes to labor, if he's going to act like maybe there's a chance that Donald Trump, who as recently as a few months ago was on a leaked phone call with his number one donor, or at least his most famous donor, Elon Musk, cheerleading Elon Musk for having the balls to just fire people who were trying to unionize at the Tesla factory.
That wasn't a leaked call. That was on the X space. That was public. Remember?
Oh, I thought that I thought that was from an earlier part of the call. I didn't even realize that was something that they were advertising.
Yeah, remember on that Twitter space or X space between Trump and Elon? That's when Trump was like congratulating him on the fired workers on the Tesla.
Oh yeah, I have it right here. I guess for some reason I didn't realize that this was like from the live portion. We can play it for you guys just so you can hear.
They're probably making it look like it was some uncovered audio or something.
Yeah. For people who haven't heard, I think this is really damning, especially in the face of the kind of argument that they're trying to make about how Trump could be at all pro-union.
You want to quit? They go on strike. I won't mention the name of the company, but they go on strike and you say, that's okay. You're all gone. You're all gone. So every one of you is gone, and you are the greatest. You would be very good.
So that's a union guy responding to it afterwards. But you can see just 100% the difference between the first president that stood on a picket line with the United Auto Workers, the NLRB that Joe Biden put on, the John Deere strikes, the Frito-Lay strikes, the Starbucks strikes, the East Coast port strikers. Their list goes on and on of folks who were able to strike with the support of the United States government under the Joe Biden administration. Again, that's how come I just do not trust Sean O'Brien, right? But anyway.
Yeah. Do you want to get into some more of this, Krystal, Kyle?
Because right now, going to the Supreme Court to try to argue that the National Labor Relations Board is literally unconstitutional. And that is Donald Trump's probably biggest backer, certainly most influential backer. So no, I mean, I'm clear-eyed about where Kamala Harris stands vis-a-vis these issues and the hints that her campaign is giving out, and also the notable silence that she won't say what she'll do on Lina Khan. But I think we also have to be clear-eyed about Donald Trump, who's made it manifestly evident who, he is catering to in his campaign and would cater to in office, which is the same group that he catered to in office last time as well.
I don't disagree with anything he said on the campaign. I'm saying with governance, what I do know is that with chaos comes potential opportunity. Will you get 100% of like all the things you just said? Probably not. But the one thing that I could point to is that
all you're going to get is all you're going to get, Saagar. I can tell you, it's what the donors want. That's what you're going to get. That's what happens when you sell out to donors. Again, and that was a big part of Trump's appeal. I can't stress it enough, guys. In 2016, it seemed like there was a real moment there because on the left, Bernie Sanders, he was also running against corruption. He was also refusing billionaire money. And again, obviously, Donald Trump was a charlatan. He was as corrupt as it gets. But at least it seemed like there was a real a sense on that side of the spectrum when it comes to the voters that they wanted an anti-corruption candidate, that is something that appealed to them. The thought of having an unbought politician, they're like, hell yeah, let's do that. We're sick of having donors run the show. Now it seems like Donald Trump just doesn't even talk about it anymore. He's completely surrendered that mantle of being the unbought donor-proof candidate. You know what I'm saying? Isn't that weird, Zach? Don't you think that that was a big part of his appeal?
100%. He's just too broke to sustain it. He can't self-finance. He's not getting enough small dollar donations anymore. The other thing that Krystal laid out, which I think is so worth underlining, right? Because I hear a lot of people in the chat being like, what about the railroad strike? Yeah, I disagreed with that decision. It's still night and day compared to how Donald Trump would have behaved as president, right? So when people just use the railroad strike as like a catch-all, Biden was bad for unions, that those are people who are lying to you, should, consider that. But what she pointed out was that, again, Elon Musk, billionaire, world's richest man, wants to see the National Labor Relations Board found unconstitutional by the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court, which already has an overwhelming conservative majority, a Supreme Court that, if Donald Trump is reelected, will replace 2 of the aging conservative justices with justices who are like 39, 40 years old, who will be on the bench for the next 35 years, wreaking havoc on all of the civil rights that we have in this country, giving corporations carte blanche to do whatever they want, not breaking up a single monopoly. Are you guys understanding what's going on? Obviously, it'll be devastating if Kamala Harris wins and gets rid of Lina Khan, who's done a tremendous job, who has really taken the mantle of saying, hey, guys, if we want to undo this techno-feudalism that we're living under, we have to be aggressive with our antitrust implementation. I mean, there's a chance she gets rid of Lina Khan. What Donald Trump will do is drive a race car in the exact other direction to fortify all of the mergers and allow Kroger to buy up whoever they want, and allow T-Mobile and AT&T to merge if they want to,
drive up prices. Yep,
exactly,
and completely destroy the regulatory state simultaneously. And it's like, that's what's at stake. It's not super sexy to talk about, but that is what's at stake in this election. And that shit is super important.
And his whole, I made a huge mistake last time not hiring enough loyalists, is that some of these loyalists have very different views on the economics than Gary Cohn or Jared Kushner than last time around. Will those people have any empowerment in the administration? Is a totally open question. So yeah, I think it's one of those where, in general, I think you're probably right in terms of the way that it will go. But, we shouldn't also forget with the Republican Congress, Trump may be pro-SALT, but that doesn't mean that Republicans are going to bring some SALT back. Republicans love punishing blue states, and none of their constituents are the ones.
All right, that's most of what I wanted to react to from the breaking points discussion. But yeah, I just thought that Krystal did a really good job there, kind of articulating. Yeah, we actually do know exactly what to expect from Donald Trump. He's making it pretty clear, and just check out the interests of his top donors if you really are still figuring it out. Check out what Miriam Adelson wants from Donald Trump. Check out what Elon Musk wants from Donald Trump, and obviously the Heritage Foundation as well. Yeah, of course, these are the people that are going to be in charge.